Noswaith dda, croeso, and welcome. There we go. Welcome to Pilates mat work for spinal stabilisation. Please excuse my eyes not looking in the right place. It works better when I'm on the mat. All right, so we talked a lot about this week about how Punjabi's movement, some things are passive, some things are moving, some things are neural. And in this session, you have to bring together all three things. But most importantly, you have to do the neural patterning. So the neural patterning is based on repetitive movements, okay? So we'll do lots of reps, but also your thought process. So you have to think about what you're doing and imagine that muscle working or releasing. So we're not going to do anything, wild, because when we're dealing with this area that's super, super tight, it can trigger a lot of things. So I'm just going to move the camera down just a tad. All right, so the area that we're looking at, remember, is the relationship between the pelvis and the spine. So place your hands onto your pelvis. Okay, so you should feel the rim of the pelvis. In the front here, you've got the anterior, superior, inferior spine. And this wants to point forward. So if you want to think about the bony bits of your pelvis need to point forwards. Then feel your lumbar spine area. So this is the lumbar spine area, remember, that does the forward movement, and the hips that do the backward movements. Then go down to the sacrum. Now, where the sacrum meets here, remember, that's your sacroiliac joint. So we're going to do all of the exercises on the mat, all right? So you're not going to get up, which is why I've said to you, bring warm clothes, because it's not going to be a class where you're going to be working hard and sweating. It's going to be a class that is peaceful, and you have to, I suppose, just think about what you're doing. I know it sounds a bit mad, but I've been teaching Pilates a long time. The thing that works for me, you don't have to do it, but the thing that works for me is to close my eyes. But I can do that because I know what I'm supposed to be doing. But if you don't know what you're supposed to be doing, keep your eyes open. All right, we're on the mat the whole time, okay? Oh, one more thing. Your Pilates ball needs to be quite deflated because we're going to be using this to help release tension, and you don't want a big puffy ball. The other thing is, don't lie on the bobble because it hurts. Okay, hang on, let me just angle my camera right, and then I have to move my mat again. No matter how many times I do this. All right. Okay. So we're going to be lying down onto your mat. I've got with me my towel, my ball, and my band. It's up to you. You can either have the towel underneath your lower back or underneath your head. Now, I'm going to put mine under my head, as you all know. Okay, but I won't keep it there the whole time. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is to have a look at releasing tension through the pelvis. Thumbs together across the belly button. Fingertips down towards the front of the pelvis. Okay, so this area here is where you want to focus your attention today. So you're going to take a deep breath in, and then as you breathe out, I want you to feel your hands sink down. Okay, so your hands sinking down. Okay, I think I turned the music on, my voice on, but I'm not 100% sure. So let me just double check. Yeah, I did. Okay, so you want to have the sensation of heavy stone falling down, anything that feels kind of good. Okay, so deep breath in, slow breath out. Okay, arms are out wide, and you want to roll your shoulders up, back and down, and you want to take your feet out wider. So we're going to do this internal and external rotation of the knee and the hip. Pay particular attention to your hip joint rather than your lower back, because we want this area to release first. If you're used to the mermaid, your knee comes towards the other foot, so you feel like you are coming into mermaid position, yeah, like this. But you don't have to go the whole way. When you're doing this movement, you're going to keep your hands down onto the floor, and you're going to keep your chin tucked in. Okay, the second movement we do every single week. Again, it's this hug. So we talked about how this releases through the lower back, and you just want to use the arms to draw the knee towards the chest, and then lengthen the other leg out if it feels okay. Now today we're going to use your hamstring on this. So you're going to take a deep breath in, then you're going to bring your leg in, reach the leg up, and then bend the knee, and then hug. Okay, so when the leg goes up, the leg moves away. You can see my arm straightening. And then when the leg comes down, you're hugging the knee in. Now what you have to be careful of is when the leg goes up, that your head does not tilt. Okay, so if you like that, put a pillow underneath your head. And again, one more time. Lovely. Okay, now you're going to take this foot across onto the other knee, and you're going to use your hand to push that leg away. For some people, that's already enough stretch. Otherwise, you're going to roll your leg in and out and feel the stretch through the hip. Okay, and then release, and we change over to the other side. So, knee down, straighten out the other leg, take a deep breath in, hug the knee in, and then lift the leg up so it moves slightly away, and then you bend your elbows. You should be able to see my arms moving when I'm doing that. Lift up, and in, and then again, and in. Now take this foot across onto the opposite side, use your hand, push the knee out, use this hand to hold the leg, and then circle around. Okay, it's never easy to do this one. So if you need to keep your foot on the floor, that's fine. Then the final one is into this frog stretch. Use your hands here to push towards your kneecaps, and then push one down at a time. So you have this little bit of a rocking movement. Now bring this top knee over, hand on the outside of your knee, arm out to the side, and then release. Okay, you don't want to stay there too long. Hand on the outside of your knee, pull over and release. And again, here we go, nice and easy. Take your time. Pull and release, and you've got one more. Okay, so it's a nice gentle movement. You don't want to work too quickly into this. And then release. Okay, so you're going to get your little ball, make sure that the bobble is to the side, and you're going to make a Yorkshire pudding shape with that, and place that behind your head, all right? So in this position, you're going to tuck your chin in, and we're going to be doing toy soldier arms. So one arm back, one arm away, breathing easy. Okay, as you're doing this, feel like you are lengthening through the armpit and the shoulder. Breathing steady as you go. Now, bring both arms up together and take them both over to the side and turn your head to look at your hands. Then come up and go over to the other side, just to let your legs move naturally. Now, if you've got long hair, be careful it doesn't get stuck into the ball. Okay, and then again, lift up. Okay, arms, one hand onto the shoulders, elbows up, elbows down, elbows up. Lift your head and take your eyes backwards. Excuse me. Elbows down, and again. Now, when you take your elbows up, push one leg away. When your elbows come down, bring the leg in. So elbows up, push the leg away, open the hip. Elbows down, bring the leg in. We're going to try that again. If you can do that with the breath, that's great. And again, one more time. Here we go. Push away. Lovely. Okay, arms are out wide. Push your head into the ball and roll it from side to side. Make sure that your neck is not on the ball, okay? It's definitely the back of your head. Then tilt your head backwards and drop your chin down. So you just move in nice and easy, okay? And now bring the heel of your hand to your eyebrows and push into your hand and release. And again, push and release. Okay, let's take the ball away. Your head should feel more comfortable. If you need your pillow back, please do so. Now we're going to go down to the pelvis. For this, you need to pull the ball lengthways and make sure it's on the sacroiliac joint and that you're not lying on the bobble part. Okay, so first of all, squidge around, it makes a glorious noise. Then you're going to bring that knee in and we're going to repeat those exercises. If you can, you slide the other leg out. You're going to lift the leg up and then bring it in, okay? And again, lift the leg up and bring it in. One more time, lift the leg up. Now you're going to take this foot across onto the opposite side. Now if you're wobbling, keep your foot down. If you feel okay, you can move the ball, okay? So you don't move your legs this time. You kind of squidge the ball around, if that makes sense. Okay, place that down, change over. So knee in and reach. If you want to make it harder, leg out. Knee in and reach. And again, knee in and reach. Now, taking that leg across, remember, knee across, you want to wiggle the ball, not your legs this time. Okay, into your frog stretch, hands push your knees away and just push one knee down at a time, okay? So it's nice and easy, nothing too strenuous. Okay, so for this one, clasp your hands together, place your hands on the front of your shin and you push your shin forward, push and release. Push forwards and release. Push forwards and release. Change over to the other side. So push forwards and release. Push, yeah, long arms. So this is definitely around the sacroiliac. Now, one knee in, then the other knee in. Okay, so you pull one knee in, then the other knee in. Then you come into frog and back to the center. Okay, if you're wobbling, put your feet onto the floor one more time. And now, arms out wide. Keep your feet onto the floor, roll over till your knees are on the floor. Then you roll up and over the ball, and it's up to you. You can keep your feet onto the floor the whole time, or you can lift the knees up. Now, what you don't want to do is to kind of go, ooh, okay? So you want to make sure that if you've got the knees up, that you keep it under control, which is not as easy to do as it looks. Okay, so taking the ball away, letting the lower back relax, and you should feel a little bit of release in tension, that your back feels a bit flatter. Now the bobble part has to be at the top and you pull it long. This is the hard bit, so if you've got osteoporosis, miss this exercise out. But if you feel okay, you want to place this roughly in line with your bra strap and take your hands behind your head. So you're going to feel that ball. If this doesn't feel quite right, it's easier to move your body around than to move the ball. Okay, so you'll notice I'm a bit squiffy off my mat, but my ball's quite comfy here. So you're just going to roll from side to side to begin with, releasing the tension. Now, you're going to bring your elbows together and tuck your head in. Then you're going to open the elbows out and you're going to look towards the ceiling. If that feels comfortable, when you open the elbows out, you can let the head fall all the way back, okay? So you feel like you're over a barrel. Breathe out, bring the elbows in, and then if you feel okay, open out, let your head rest. One more time, lift. And then release. Okay, so from this now, slide side to side, and then slide and dip your elbow down. Okay, so you dip your elbow down. One more time. And then release. Now, move that ball away. Lie down and tell me that you've released tension in your back. These balls, I think, are absolutely amazing. If you've got a really tight back, to help you to release tension, it works really, really well. Okay, so we're going to do a hamstring stretch now. So you're going to get your band and you're going to place the band underneath your foot. Now in this position, you're going to have both the hands in the opposite hand to your knee, and you're going to put your hand on your kneecap and push your leg away. So you're going to pull your leg towards your body, at the same time you're going to push your knee away so your knee doesn't stay bent. More support with the knee bent, harder with the leg straight. So you're going to go pull and push and release. Pull and push. And you should feel this down the back of the thigh. If it feels super tight, rub it, okay? And release, pull and push. Now, keeping it here, taking that leg out to the side as far as you can, keeping this heel down, don't let your pelvis rotate and don't let your shoulders rotate. Point and flex your foot, okay? Don't over point your foot because you'll get cramp. Then bring the leg up. And again, watch. I often see people doing this with their leg. You don't want to have your leg down if possible. You want to keep it across and move with it. Now your hip can move, but you don't want your shoulder to move. So you keep your arm out to keep the shoulder on the floor. Then you come back to the center and you're going to split the band apart and change feet. Okay, so one foot is in, almost bounce to begin with. Then you hold in with this other hand. So remember, more stability with the knee bent, or you can have it here. Okay, so hand on the knee, you pull the leg in at the same time you're pushing the knee away. So it looks like this, pull and push and release. If it feels tight, once you've done the pull and push, stroke the leg, okay, firmly, and release, pull and push. Then you're going to take the leg out to the side, keeping this arm down, and once you're there, you're going to point and flex through the foot. Don't overpoint your toes, but really work on that flex. Then you're going to come up and come in over the body. You can let the hip roll and don't let the leg drop down. Okay, keep that leg pulled up and keep your shoulder down. That looks great. Come back to the center. Now don't take the band off. We did this exercise on Monday, and this is one of the exercises that you can use to help to strengthen this lumbar-pelvic stability. So your feet need to be hip distance apart, okay, not together. Your band does not want to be long and loose like this. You want to have your hands high, and then you want to pull the band down, okay, so the band is fairly tight. Now when you bring your knees in, that band should be tight, okay? You don't want the band loose when you bring your knees in. I'm learning by watching people doing this. You push up and away with both legs and suck your belly in, and then you bring it in, okay? So when you push away, suck your belly in tight, breathe out hard, and then release. And again, push away, keep your belly in tight. Okay, feel like you're creating a hollow into the stomach, that your spine is well connected with the mat, that you push through the heels of the feet. Think of that movement that we did with stretching your hamstrings. And again, push away. Lovely. Okay, bring your feet together. Bring the band together and then turn your feet out like this. Out. Okay, turn it out. Turn it out, turn it out. Don't worry, 2 more goes. 1 more time, and then release. Okay, we're going to take the band off your feet, and we're going to rest, and you're going to get the ball now, and you're going to have the ball between the kneecaps. Now, because it's quite deflated, okay, you have to have your feet together. You're going to bring your feet in, you're going to have the ball between the kneecaps. The knees are together, the feet are together, the hands are down by your side. You're going to take a deep breath in. As you breathe out, you're going to come up into the bridge. And then I need to get back on my mat here. Okay, so you're going to come up into the bridge, pushing through the feet. Now, if you get cramp in your hamstrings, come back down. If your back doesn't feel good, have your hands behind you, but don't let that ball go. Now what I want you to do with the hands is to bring the hands underneath like this and then take them out. So they slide under, squeeze your shoulder blades together and then press out. Okay, so feet are down flat. Keep your big toe in contact with the floor. And then release. And again, push, push, push. Lift, lift, lift. And release. Keep your chin tucked in, back of the neck long. You can't lift very high in this position, don't worry. Okay, but high enough to get your bum over your hands. One more time. And then let go. Okay, taking the ball away, do the stretch we did in the beginning, holding onto the knee. Now use the stroke action to bring that leg down and then turn towards the extended arm away. Take a breath in. And then as you breathe out, let that knee fall down a little bit further. Good work. Okay, we're going to change over to the other side here. So you're going to have your hand at the top, stroke down the thigh, take a deep breath in. As you breathe out, release down towards the floor. Okay, and then release. Okay, so we're going to come up onto your hands and knees now. All right. So in this position to begin with, we're going to do the child's pose stretch. But I want you to have a wide knee position, and this time with the hands, extend the arms away. From here, coming up onto your hands and knees. Now, single leg stretch in this position works really well on stabilising this hip area. But if your hip area is weak, make sure you don't drop down. So you're going to take a deep breath in. As you breathe out, you're going to hold and lift your abdominal muscles up high. And you're going to start by doing something called a cat pedal. So a cat pedal is where you bring your thumb to your shoulder and lift the elbow up to the ceiling. You have to make sure your head's not hanging down. You pull up to the shoulder and down. And again, up to the shoulder and down. Okay, so you can stay on the mat. Lift. One more time. Now, when you come down into child's pose, bring your thumbs together like this, little finger on the floor, and sink back. Okay. So with the knee, what you're going to do is something called a hip hitch. So you don't lean and lift your leg. You want to feel that you're lifting up into the hip joint, up and down. So think of it like a piston, all right? So hands underneath your shoulders, cat pedal and hip hitch, and down. Cat pedal and hip hitch, and down. Keep that elbow up to the ceiling, keep your chin tucked in. Keep your breathing really steady. Okay, make sure your head doesn't fall down. Make sure you don't let go of the contraction through the abs. One more time, and then release. Okay, knees wide, thumbs up, little fingers down, ease back. Okay, last little bit is going to be on the side. So the side movements are great for the hip. Now it's up to you how you want to support your neck. Okay, so you can have your head in your hands, you can cradle your head, you can put your towel or your ball between your arm and your head. It's up to you. The movement is all going to occur around the hip. We're going to do some stretching and some work. So we're going to start in this knee bent position, and this hand, remember, is on the floor. Now the reason that you want this is that you don't want to be rolled back. So you want to keep some of the weight forwards. Elbow is up into the air, and we're going to do the hip circle to begin with, all right? It's nothing new here. Take a deep breath in. As you breathe out, stabilize your abs and lift like you're doing the hip hitch, but a sideways movement. So the knee is up, yeah, but you're staying at right angles. Now you bring the knee forwards and you get the knee to touch that elbow. Ideally, it stays there while you straighten your leg out. Then you pull the leg as far back as you feel comfortable whilst pushing that hip forward. Then you bend your knee towards your bum and bring the knee forwards again. So it touches your elbow, you keep it there, you straighten the leg out, you pull back, you bend, pull it back as far as you can, you bend the knee, keep the knee bent, bring it forwards. Okay, let's try that again. So you should feel like you are a galloping horse. I love this exercise. It's a really good one for the hip. Now the second movement here is, instead of bending the knee, you swing the leg forwards and backwards. You don't let the knee bend, so you have to push firmly with the heel, yeah, so you don't get this kind of flick movement. Leg is straight, move directly from the hip. 2 more goes, and then you're going to slow it down, bring it forwards and tap. So into hot potato and back. I hope your hip is not screaming at this point. Tap it in and tap it back. You've got 2 more goes. Come on, we can do it. Tap it in and tap it back. 1 more time if you can. Tap it in and tap it back. Okay, let's just do a quick quad stretch. So the quad stretch is so important because we want this hip to be open and relaxed. So bring the knee in, slide your hand down towards the bottom of your shin, don't hold your foot. Pull the leg back, okay, and keep pulling the leg back until you feel the stretch here. Okay, you shouldn't feel it in the knee joint, it should be definitely in the thigh muscle. If you want to, you can straighten out the bottom leg. Okay, keep breathing. You want to stay here for about 6 seconds. And then release. Okay, so we're going to go up into mermaid. So you push that leg away and bring this knee up and over. Now the mermaid's often problematic for people with poor lumbar pelvic stability because it's really hard to get your knee and your hip into this angle. So if you need to use your ball, you can wedge your ball behind you, okay, or you can sit onto the towel. With this arm, when you're here, the elbow comes down and then you want to feel the stretch through the side of the body. So you don't want to just reach your hand close. You want to feel that you are extending as far as you can. And when you're coming up, use the strength of this arm to pull and push with this arm here and hold on to your shin where we did that quad stretch. Now this elbow has to work, okay? So what happens is you pull your elbow towards your body and this elbow points that way, okay? So it points that way. All right, so you come down and tap, up, pull and stretch. Yeah, down and tap, up, pull and stretch. Good work. Okay, let's change over to the other side. So remember, get comfy first, all right? So you know a little bit more about how to get comfy. Excuse me, I need to... That's the only thing, when you're rolling around on the floor, your leggings go everywhere. So remember, elbow is up, knees are together, lift the knee up, bring it to touch your elbow. Now, if your elbow's all the way over here, it's going to be harder, so bring your elbow in a comfortable place. Push that leg away. When you're dragging it back, feel like you're dragging it through custard and then bringing it in, okay? So you want to push away, drag, 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 drag. Really sorry about the music. Sounds like something out of Doctor Who. Push. Come on, just ignore the music. Good work. And again, push. Okay, so now the straight leg, remember, I'm going to have to hitch up because I'm kicking my radiator, is you want to do the straight leg, but see if you can get your leg to touch your elbow, okay, each time. So you go 1 and kick, like you're in the can-can, yeah? Kick, and again, move freely from the hip. Yeah, 1 more time. Good work. Now, let's do hot potato. So you slow it down and you turn it around. You slow it down and you turn it back. Don't have your leg low to the floor, okay? Keep it up in line with your hip and tap, up in line with your hip and tap. And again, come on, you can do it. Lovely, one more time. Good, now we do that quad stretch. So bring your knee in, slide, bottom of your shin. Remember, front of the thigh. Breathe into it, 6-second hold. Stretch his bottom leg out if it helps. Okay, into mermaid. So here we go into mermaid again. All right, so again, if you're finding it problematic, change. What you're looking for is this shin to be across the front. Now this leg, okay, so we're working through the hip onto this side, can be where you feel comfortable. The more flexible you are, the wider the angle you can have on this. Okay, so it's up to you where you want to have that. Reach, elbow, turn your head and tap. Push off this arm, grab, pull your elbow in, push this elbow away. Yeah, so you want to go smooth action and down and up and over. Lovely. And down and tap and up and over. Nicely done, everybody. Okay, let's come to the middle. Bring the soles of the feet together, and this is called the pelvic rock. Now, the pelvic rock is a key exercise if you've got any problems around your sacroiliac joint. So what you want to do is to roll from one butt cheek to the next. So you want to think about the bony part of your pelvis. Okay, so you want the bony part of your pelvis to push into your butt muscle. Let me just change this music because, for goodness sake, I'm just going to be laughing, thinking I'm in Doctor Who the whole time. Oh, I tell you, you try new music and you think, wow, that sucks good. Let's try that one. Peace. All right, so in the pelvic rock, you don't want to just move your legs. You actually want to roll through the pelvis from one side to the other. The hands are here. Pull your body up, okay? So you want to keep it nice and steady here. All right, so you're going to bring your knees together. We're going to roll back onto this side. So you come back onto this side and supporting your head. Your hips have had a little bit of recovery time now, and we're going to do leg lifts on this side. You can have your head down, or you can support your head. Now this is going to train the muscles on the outer part of the hip. When you work this muscle, it is small, so it fatigues quite quickly. Elbows up, take a deep breath in, hold your belly in, and lift your leg up. So where the leg is now, it should be in line with your hip and it doesn't tap down to the floor, okay? It always stays lifted into this position and you go higher and back to that spot. Now, remember we talked about the control. What you don't want to do is kind of just fling your leg around. You want to feel like your leg is in a plaster cast, push up and down. If you can, just slightly rotate your foot into hot potato so your big toe is slightly lower than your heel, or think about leading with your heel. Yes, you push it up. And again, now push back, okay, as if you're kicking something, but notice that the leg is still in line with the hip, okay, it's not low to the floor. 2 more goes, 1 more go, and then release. Coming back into the mermaid, but this time it's up mermaid. So straight arm, hip movement, open, hips back and tuck. When you're doing this hip movement, you want to feel that this part of the hip pushes towards me and this arm pushes your body off the floor. You want it to be kind of locked out and straight, not bent at all. Ready? Hip action, hip down and tuck. Hip action, hip down and tuck. And we're going to do one more. Hip action, hip down and tuck. Now, the changing of positions is going to be part of the movement. So you kind of come into pelvic rock, and then you come over to the other side. This is where your leggings all go a bit right. Okay? So remember now, when that leg is straight, it's not starting down onto the floor. Your elbow is here, you hold your belly in, and you lift your leg up in line with your hip. This is the starting point and the finishing point, not here. So you want to come up and in, up and in. And if you can, angle your foot slightly so that the heel lifts up towards the ceiling. And again, up and again, and up. 2 more goes, and up. Now, if you can, push back, little movements. Don't swing it, just feel like you're kicking the door down. 2 more goes, 1 more go. Okay, into mermaid. Use this leg, push, lift, and hip open. Hip open, and then release down. Hip open, and release down. You've got 1 more left to go. Hip open, and release down. Okay, let's come up onto your hands and knees and back into your child's pose. Pushing back through the pelvis, reaching those arms forward. Up into cat and camel, last little bit. Tuck under, tuck your chin in, and then release. And then again, tuck, tuck, tuck. One more. Here we go. Come on, this is such a nice exercise. Okay, so if you can, roll hands onto your legs. Use your arms to come up to standing. Okay, adjust your posture. I'm just going to adjust the camera to my hair. All right, so you should now feel like your hips are a little bit looser. Remember, this hip press to the side works really well. The pelvic clock that we did, north, south, east and west, works really well. Any of those kind of movements, or having the ball underneath your lower back, all helps. When you've finished, always go through your posture check and check that the thigh bone is above the pelvis, underneath the pelvis, so that you're not in this tilted forward position, that you zip up and stand up tall, rolling your shoulders up, back and down, taking a deep breath in. As you're breathing in, what you want to feel like is you are zipping up your stomach muscles and pushing your hips slightly forwards towards me and not leaning back, okay? So it is more like like you're standing tall. And then that slow breath out. And then release. Lovely. And again, deep breath in. And then that slow breath out. One more time, deep breath in. Bringing your hands together. And remember, this is where you say thank you to yourself, because that mind-body connection where we are grateful for the work and the effort that we put in is always good to acknowledge. Try to think about the ways that your body moves and using the kind of rolling movements that we did today. Everything was on a moving scale when we were doing the stretches, and everything was on a moving thing when we were doing the hard work as well. You need to do the bit of both, okay? But being in that moving helps you to get your centre point of gravity. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you all tomorrow morning for more Pilates, and it won't be as easy. Okay, take care. Au revoir.